Hello, and we are back with another week of Spilled Ink. And today on the show, we've got a bunch of rad people, but one is missing. One is definitely missing, and that would be good old Bloxdorf, who had a little bit of a surgery, and he's not feeling so good. So I'm covering for him, and he said he's still going to draw along with us. So he's here in spirit. But yeah, thank you guys for coming, and we'll do our little beginning round robin. Ro, what's up? What are you working on today? And yeah, tell us a bit about yourself.
Okay, I am a mangaka for CLP, it's Cosmic Lion Productions. We just started our Cosmic Lion manga department.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah, prior to this meeting, I was kind of preparing for some of the advertising stuff for the other two people that will debut in March, and then we'll have at least three new books for heroes. So that's what we do for it. And then today I'm just working on my own stuff. I made this a long time ago and I reworked the script, so I kind of have to either add in or subtract art. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now on this page. I've been busy doing a lot of conventions in 2025, and this year I'm just kind of trying to lay low. I say that, but then now it's like, yeah, I'm going to Emerald City. I'm sharing a table with Rick Lopez.
Nice.
That's next month, and then the heroes, and then there is either IC3 or LA Comic Con. I have to decide which one because I think those are on the same exact weekend. So yeah, that's all.
Very dope. Yeah, we'll have to talk more about the manga imprint for CLP. That's pretty huge. Jade, what are you working on? Who are you? What's up, man?
Yeah, haven't been on in a while. I've been working on a variety of other things, and I'm finally working on a new solo project and getting some more progress on it. So this is a new book that'll be coming out this year called Not Enough Blood, and I'm working on the first issue of that book right now. This is just page 6 from that, and need to flush more stuff out. So that's what I'm going to be working on tonight.
Nice. And Aaron, back again, resident artist for I don't know how many weeks now, but a few weeks.
Got cabin fever, so this is like my way out of the house with staying in the
house. It's to socialize online in a public forum. Yeah,
That's right.
that sounds peaceful.
It is nice, yeah.
What are you working on? Still lightboxing some stuff?
Yeah, this is page 5 of this little sci-fi story I'm working on. It's coming together better than I thought. I was doing digital pencils, but they weren't quite done yet, so I just lightboxed it over anyways. So I'm like fixing it on the fly. But I'm in the phase where I don't hate it right now. So
good.
I'll try and keep it in that zone.
Solid phase.
That's a magical phase. It's funny. So it seems like we're all doing pencils and or edits tonight, which means that we're gonna be locked in.
Yeah, probably not the most chatty of work to be doing for comics. Definitely.
I wouldn't be distracted.
Although I need to find. That means that it's intensely important to find the freaking lo-fi. Pop that down. The iconic copyright-free StreamYard lo-fi that plays every single episode. Hell yeah, cool. Well, I'm working on 2 pages that are supposed to be for Cartoons Magazine, which is where Ed Roth came from. And so I did a pass, and then it went to editorial, and now I need to do a few panel edits, but I'm doing that. But I don't know if you've seen this strip before, Jade. It's called R.I.P. Rust in Peace. but
Okay.
it's very like It's a Horror Show esque.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, and congrats on the physical copies of Gag. They look good.
Dude, yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you so much for freaking reminding me. I pulled it
Yeah.
out. I was gonna do my plug. Yeah. So we've after a bunch of reprints and then slaving away trying to figure out how to freaking cut these. They now exist, and I have a formula to do it. So
Yeah.
issues exist in glorious newsprint. There's
Oh, yeah.
interviews with Sean Crystal, with Eli from Cosmic Lion, and then Matt Emmons from Second at Best Press in here. There's comics, there's art, there's Aaron's art in here.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this exists now. The first way to get it is through the January Mail Club on murderofmagpies.org. And then I'm going to be doing a full launch in February. And if you want to get the first notification for that, you can sign up for the email newsletter, and you'll get a welcome discount, and you get a free digital copy of Bubbles, which was our first comic that we did. And it's kind of a neon queer horror drama of sorts based on real life experiences. But yeah, so you get a free digital copy of this if you sign up for the newsletter too.
Those colors
So-
are great.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I played this one was just pure primaries for a printer. So it's CMYK black, or what am I saying? It's CMYK, which is cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. So
Yeah.
it was a fun experiment to do. But yeah, I'm gonna get to these edits, man, because I gotta get them sent over, and then maybe I'll color this guy because I finished this off stream this past week. So I might take a pass at coloring this. I don't know yet. So Ro, how did the manga department come around for?
Gonna be honest, I complained like a year ago about being the only mangaka, like out of like 65 creators, right? And I think at the time too, I was the only non-guy. So he said that he'll think about starting a department, because that was one of the things, is that like from some of my readers, they were like, it's kind of hard to find you on the site because there's like no manga tab. And they had before, like the site looks better now, but before, like the site was just had like the artist names, and so people really had to like scroll to go find my name. And so I had asked, like, to make it easier, can we just start like a manga tab? And then so Eli was like, I don't know if we should do a manga tab if you're the only one. So we can start like, you know, a department. And he's like, but I want you to think about heading it up. And I'm like, what? So I was working at a nonprofit on the side, and I learned a lot of project management stuff. And then after, like, while I was learning all of that stuff, I reached out like since 6 months ago, like to people who that might be interested in also putting their work into print. And you know, we had some hits, and that was just kind of on the down low. It kind of still is, like, there's not really like an open form of submissions. I'm really only like letting people know through my own network so far. And then yeah, so it's been pretty exciting. And one of my friends, she is like an art director for Wizards of the Coast, and I consulted with her before, like, thinking about doing this. And she said, well, you're going to make mistakes, and the only thing that you need is like a set of values, and your values will guide you through your mistakes and through your success, you know? And so luckily, like, the comics values or whatever aligns with what Eli wants to do, which is like every comics for every mind, you know? So he wanted something similar for the manga. So yeah, I just asked him, like, so far we have like 5 people that are for sure. Like we have their manuscripts in, or they're almost completed, and they're either working with our in-house editor, Deanna, if you're familiar with her. But yeah, we're still kind of reviewing some other things as well. So that's been an interesting process, but that's how it happened. I just was quiet about it last year just because I just was so focused on going to the cons and kind of selling my own things. And this year I have decided not to do as much cons. And it actually works out because I'm actually getting rejected from a lot of cons.
Oh,
now.
really?
Yeah, so I think it's my fault. I think because I put co-publisher at the time when I like applied for cons, and then they see that when they see my social media, and I think like they want publishers to have like a dealer's booth instead of an artist alley. So I had changed that to CL Manga Head, but only recently and not when I put those applications in, right? So I'm trying to do less cons this year so I can focus on making sure, like, I think Eli's doing a lot of the, logistics for the prints stuff, but I want to make sure that, the new people are taken care of. So I've been working hard on preparing for Manga March and the advertising and making motion comics of some scenes in their comics. That's been probably the most interesting because I'm unfamiliar with like voice actors and stuff, but I feel like I'm meeting a lot of voice actors now. And
the motion comics are cool. I haven't seen the ones that you're talking about, but I've seen other ones, and they're
yeah, I'm not really familiar with a ton of them. It's just my kid, she's like really great at like pattern and algorithm recognition. So she was telling me, she came up with like a game plan of like 4 different things that I could do for the social media content, and one of them was the motion comics. And so, but luckily, I was already thinking about motion comics for my stuff. So, and then when you know one voice actor, others. We also know other people that are willing to do the job, and so that's been great. I've really lucked out. Everyone that's been working on the projects so far are really talented, and I'm really excited for people to hear that work. And it's fun for me because it's like a new thing. I'm not really a part of that world, right? I'm just kind of steeped to the top of my head in comics only. So yeah, I'm just kind of editing the videos on my own for now, but hopefully in the future, because it takes me a long time to do it, I'll be honest. Hopefully sometime in the future we can find somebody else to do that. But yeah.
I'd imagine, are you just kind of like using kind of like an After Effects style program to try and
I'm actually using since we're advertising on like social media like Instagram and other places, mostly Instagram, like I needed something that would do like a phone format, and it just felt a little excessive to buy like DaVinci, because I have a Mac and stuff, or like After Effects just for these phone format videos, right?
Yeah.
And so I kind of spent like a whole day just researching like which programs are good for kind of the cell phone format. And I was originally using, and I know I'm going to get a lot of crap for this, I was originally using CapCut for my own stuff, but then I heard that CapCut, like no matter what you upload into it, like they will feed it into their AI, even if you end up not publishing it on the internet. And so, and I guess the same is for like a lot of meta stuff, but at least like for meta, like if you find anything that belongs to you, you can at least ask them to take it down. So there's at least like that. So then I had to like look into which programs are also doing the same thing, because now it's not only my stuff. And I think the reason why I felt so comfortable putting my stuff in, because I feel like my style of manga is like a style that's not really popular enough for like some normie or artist wannabe to take and feed into an AI. So I wasn't worried about it as much for my style. But now that I'm dealing with other people's work, I really had to make sure that, like, okay, whatever program I use can't do that, because I'm putting people's voices in there and I'm putting other people's art and stuff. So I'm actually using another program on my phone called InShot, which is pretty comparable to CapCut, and it's the learning curve is not very high if you already know how to do CapCut, but they don't put your stuff into AI whatsoever. So that's why I went with them. And it's what I'm using right now. And I made a couple of videos so far, but just because, like, if you ask people to make these videos, like if it's just like 20 or 30 seconds, sometimes they charge like $200 or $300 just for the video.
That's crazy.
And I do have like a somewhat history editing videos because I used to be a YouTuber like back in the day. So I just figured, I'll just revive that part of my life, I guess.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty insane that you have to be that careful about what programs you're using, you know?
Yeah.
And then the other thing too is that like comics are not a moving medium first and foremost, you know, so to try to adapt stuff sometimes can get tricky. And it's like, I just need a little video to put up on social media, you know, that however many people are going to see, and it's a whole logistical nightmare sometimes. But
yeah, so my daughter mentioned the motion comics because it hits her demographic. That's usually what shows up to like her and a lot of her friends at school. And of course, like, I'm not a high schooler, so that stuff doesn't show up on my feed as much. So since a lot of my comics and a lot of the comics we are publishing kind of hit that demographic for an audience, like, that's why I'm going to try it out. But I'll let you know how it goes after we actually put it on the internet and see.
Are you allowed to tell us who, like, some of the creators that are going to be on?
Sure. So there is this one person named Kagura. She's actually from San Antonio, Texas. And you can find her on Instagram with Kagura's Art, I think is what it's called. It's like Kagura's and then art. I think it's one word, but she does a lot of like Pokemon fan art, so you should be able to distinguish if it's her stuff or not. But she has a sapphic magical girl comic that's going to be released in March with us. And then the other creator, he is in Malaysia, and his name is Squire Maguire. And he's releasing like a manga, like actual, like, it looks like manga that's been translated into English, so it's read from right to left, and the paper we use is manga paper and everything, but it's all in English. And yes, he's also going to have some motion comics, but his comic is like a reverse isekai. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with like what a isekai is. It's like where you take the main character and you kind of throw him into like a fantasy world or whatever. So since this is like reverse isekai, it's about like a villain of the different world that's kind of thrusted into our world and has to like learn to live as a normal person. And it's been, I really love both series, and I think we really lucked out that, like, you know, we're starting out pretty strong with those two. They have exceptional art skill. I've been kind of bragging to everyone that, like, gosh, everyone that's new is like either at my level or way better. And these two are no exception to that. So they're kind of setting the bar kind of high right off the bat, but I mean, that's not a bad thing. So
very cool. I feel like you're smart to get into the voice acting stuff, because I know a lot of kids who are really into like manga and anime. They're also really into voice actors.
Yeah, I lucked out finding two voice actors that can do multiple roles, you know?
Yeah.
So it's so much easier having to like coordinate with just like 4 different characters with one person instead of hiring 4 different people.
Yeah.
And it's the paperwork too, like the invoices and stuff. Anyway, just talking about boring stuff now. So that's
No, more invoice talk. Let's go. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, but there's so much talented people out there. And sorry, like when I'm talking, I'm not drawing as much, but I hope that's okay. But the issue though too, like if there's a lot of people that are kind of gunning for the same role, and they might not know that. But when people send me a portfolio, what really sticks out is the mic quality for a lot of them. So all of them, there are some voice actors that they have like a super extensive voice acting portfolio, but their mic quality is not as good as somebody else who has like a really clean sound. And so in cases like that, it kind of sucks because I'm like, oh, I want this to be about skill. And it is mostly about skill because like the other person who has good quality mic also has like the same amount of skill. So it's hard to like choose in those situations of like, well, this person has a bigger body of work, but they're on the same skill level, and this one has a cleaner mic. I'm gonna have to go with the one with the cleaner mic. So I didn't realize that like the mic quality or just the mic itself costs so much, and they have to have their own sound room, and if they don't, they have to soundproof a closet, and they have to sit in their closet and like record in their closet. But hey, it works. So
Yeah, I used to do a little bit of like like music production and stuff.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is very interesting to figure out what you can make do without like any kind of professional setup.
I keep thinking about doing not a motion comic, but doing like an enhanced like panel reading with voices and like sound effects and music and stuff. I have not taken that on yet, but it's something that I'd like to do.
Yeah, I can send you the one that I completed recently, so you can see what it looks like. I'd be interested to hear your.
Yeah, I will take over that.
I'll send it to you after the stream.
Very cool. Thank you. I have some friends out in like Rochester, New York, who they're both musicians, but one is very into recording, and the other one is very much into like animation. She's not like a voice actor by trade, but she said like if you ever need a voice for anything, to contact her, and she would knock it out of the park. So it's just one of those things. Maybe I'll tackle that this summer. Just a short scene.
Oh gosh, I'm probably gonna have to redraw this scene too, which kind of sucks. I really liked it.
I've been looking up reference photos this entire time. A middle finger of someone just flipping somebody off, and my God, every time I draw the middle finger, it just looks wrong. It's just like, no, that's not right.
I got a hand model recently, and it's been pretty helpful because I just I pose it, I take a picture of it, and then I pretty much use it as a guide. It's been pretty nice.
Whoop. See what I did there.
I was.
Nobody caught that pun, and that's okay. That's fine.
Has anybody ever seen Blade Trinity?
No.
You're probably better off not seeing it, but I was a big Blade fan back in the day, and the movie starts off with vampires giving the middle finger to the sun, and that just sets the tone for how dumb the movie is. But in my life, I always thought of the the middle finger as like just kind of a there's no. It's just a futile gesture, I guess. Until I saw Suicide Squad, or not Suicide Squad, Creature Commandos. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah.
With whoever's the Alan Tudyk voice character, the Flaming Skeleton, where he's on the street of that Eastern European town, and he has like the double middle fingers that like go through the tank and through the faces of the people piloting the tank. And I was
Dr.
like,
Phosphorus.
Dr. Phosphorus, yeah. And I was like, that's the best use of the middle finger I think I've ever seen.
You got to capture the attitude, Jade. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
It's like the anatomy is relatively fine, but to get the attitude is the hard part.
Now I'm looking at reference photos.
It's an ongoing thing.
You should make that a theme of one video.
On my phone is literally just tabs of references, so I don't lose them.
How do you pick and choose reference or find reference, or what's is there a method, or you're just desperately searching for the one thing that you need and then it's fine?
I try to find something that's like close enough, right? And then if it's something I can tweak in terms of, sorry, I don't know why this thing keeps like, I probably need a new Cintiq because the screen keeps flying back and forth and I don't know why. But yeah, I just try to find something that's close enough and then I will go ahead and use it like as a model or a mental guide.
Yeah, most of the time it's not the whole thing that I need. It's like an element from it. It's like I need just how that posture, how that arm slumps down or whatever. And so it's very much just like pouring through Google Images, even though Google Images is just, filled with AI slop at this point. So some of it is helpful, some of it isn't. It's become less helpful. Anymore when it comes to anatomy, I try and find it elsewhere, like through reference books and stuff. So I use Google essentially more for just like a lot of cars. I'll look up via Google because finding good angles is tough sometimes depending on the car.
Yeah,
it's tricky.
I tend to use like Pinterest first and foremost, and then I'll go to Google if I can't find it there, just because like I've been using Pinterest so long that it's kind of like got my taste integrated into it, and then it'll usually give me what I want pretty fast, but not everything is on Pinterest either, so sometimes I'll have to go elsewhere. But a lot of people are like, there's a lot of takes about reference, being staunchly against reference or being for reference, or how to use reference properly without it being, just like lifting. And it's a whole complicated matter.
I think the people who are like, you can't use reference are never on a deadline. That's
yeah. Or, like I get some of it, right? But I think the more nuanced take, right, is that you shouldn't just like full on copy reference most of the time.
Yeah.
Usually you want to add something to it or blend two references or use it to like fill in gaps of detail that you don't know about.
Okay.
Like I'm sure that sometimes it's definitely helpful to have a figure reference for something that you're unfamiliar with, of like how do people naturally like do this thing. But most of the time, if you're drawing something, right, you can do a figure from imagination pretty easy, and you're kind of like acting it out in your head and trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah, like I'm doing right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why I'm talking about it. And because like you can do a gesture of that and use your basic forms to build something, but to get something specific, like somebody doing parkour or whatever, right, Like you
Yeah.
might need to pull reference for that because you don't do parkour. You don't regularly see people doing parkour, so you need to like figure out how people move in that state.
What, Max? You don't just parkour to work? all the
No,
time?
man.
That's the
It's
only
too
way I
cold
get
here.
around.
Oh, thank you.
It's a sword.
Oh, very good.
My sword. And I love my sword.
Well, you should
So
look.
cute. Oh my goodness. That's adorable.
Oh yes, and she knows it too.
No.
She'd make this all about her if she could.
I got a sword hand.
Oh, maybe you'll be in my next comic book as Sword Hand. Very nice.
This part with a hand, and this part's the sword.
I can see that. Yes.
That's why I have sword girl.
Sword Girl. Yes, that's a good one.
I love sword girl.
As you should. Yes, that's what we like.
I fight enemies.
I'm glad that this is being recorded because I can play this back and I can make this into a comic book now. There goes Sword Girl. That is the dream, though. One day we'll collaborate, or I'll make something that features her in some way.
Oh man, I understand that dream. I've been trying to convince because my oldest is really into like drawing and stuff right now, but you know, she's not really something she's sure that she wants to pursue later. But she's so talented. And so I'm just like, you know, you could do something with this, like I could work with you or whatever, like help you do that. And she just does not. She's like, no.
She's like, don't you know I'm the head of manga at CLP? Come on.
She's just not interested. She was like talking about because she wants to be a lawyer, right? And then so she was talking about how a lot of people in their college applications are now bragging about how they're like published authors and blah blah blah. And I'm like, dude, I could publish you with something. Right. And she just, she won't do it. But at this rate, like he's just gonna blow me out of the water if she keeps going with it. Like there's no way with that skill. It's crazy.
When I first started doing shows, it was like right before the pandemic, and then like right after. There was this Tom Lake, who was one of the founders, I think, of the Rochester Indie Comics Expo in Rochester, and he had, I think he has 2 daughters, and one of them was with him at the table. And this was before Lucy was around, and I was like, oh, that would be so cool to like table with a kid, you know, or like have my daughter there, or like work on something together. They did a series called Heart and Cat. And it was just like a really silly cartoon heart and a cartoon cat, and I was like, "This is awesome." So, if we could get to that point, that would be pretty cool. And then I could do fan art for a character. That would be fun.
The next generation, man.
Good enough for now.
I just tell myself everything's a rough draft.
Yeah, I mean, people don't know what what you have in your head, right? So like, they only see the end product.
Right.
They're not gonna notice all those little things you pick up on.
That is true.
But you'll notice. No, I'm making it bad.
I did go back and reread some of my older stuff because I got an email from Global Comics. They send you analytics if you put stuff up on there.
Oh.
And there's a more robust one if you pay for it. I mean, it's so much money to pay for it. It's not worth it for me. But I do like the interface because it gives you a double page spread. And I just like went through and just like browsed my stuff. And like the very first one, there's some rough spots, but there's also some spots that are pretty good. And I'm trying to exercise not beating myself up. And I was like, this is pretty good. Like I did okay in some spots,
It's hard not to. Well, for me anyway, it's hard for me to quiet that voice that's just like, this fucking sucks, do it again, And
Yeah, I hear you.
sorry, I hope the kiddo didn't hear me.
Oh no, you're good.
Okay.
Wherever she is, she's heard that before.
All right.
Sounds like what my dog is doing today.
This is not looking correct. Probably.
We got like tons of snow yesterday and today. We had 2 snow days in a row.
Oof. Like kiddos were home from school kind of snow days.
Yep, full on home from
Full
school.
on actual snow day. Wow.
State of emergency in the little city we're in.
We don't get snow days in Montana. Doesn't happen.
Well, I mean,
and it's a blizzard. We just kind of keep going.
Well, it was more like that when I was a kid, but now more cautious, which I guess is right. And also being a teacher, I really can't complain. Even though I do have to go out and like snow blow like 3 or 4 times sometimes because it just keeps on coming. But I don't have to do it by hand. I have a snow blower, so not that tough. They kind of lucked out because this page was even more disrepair before these 2 snow days. So like the fact that it's even like kind of workable today is thanks to the snow days. Being my computer for this session.
We had our snow days earlier this week, so Monday and Tuesday were off, and it's not because there was snow, it's just there was a bunch of black ice everywhere, so nobody could make it to school.
Makes sense. We had some controversy in our district because we had a 2-hour delay, but then the kids still came in. But then, like right at dismissal time, we got dumped on. And there was like whiteout conditions like all over the place.
Ooh.
So, I mean, I don't think there were any bad things that happened, but the superintendent did send out an apology email, which does not happen often.
It just takes one parent.
I mean, I couldn't imagine being a superintendent. You've got parents who are just like anything ready to, you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
emails or get on the phone.
My child.
I mean, not to say that it's not warranted, right? In some cases, right? But maybe sometimes not. Another reason I love teaching art, though, like we don't have any standardized tests. You know, knock on wood. Hopefully, they don't start doing that.
Well,
Somewhat inconsequential. You can show up and do a little bit of work and turn it in, and you get your arts credit and have a nice life.
One of the things that I've been trying to study more are knees. There's this one artist that just, you know, the whole drawing is amazing, but like my mind is just like, how the hell did he get so much attention on just the knees? Like it's just knees. Like, and I don't, you know, it's probably gonna take me a while to get to that level, but I'm not there yet.
I hear you. I don't know. I fudge it a lot. Just gonna kind of redraw it until I think it looks right. I probably should do more actual studies of like real life.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen Jonathan Wayshak's drawings. His drawings of hands, dude. I'm so amazed every time. Just the subtlety and detail and anatomy, it's wild.
I'm in the middle of watching. He was just on Inkvault. And he goes through some of his sketchbooks. I only recently became aware of him. He did some stuff in the new heavy metal, and that's the first stuff of his that I saw. That actually, that's not the first stuff. I think I bought his variant of the Jim Mahfood Arachnid Enforcer.
Oh, gotcha.
For the Kickstarter. I was like, oh, this is cool. And then he was in, I think he had a 2-parter in the new heavy metal. And I was like, this guy is awesome. But I'm late to the party on Wayshak. He seems cool, though.
This is just a rough draft. I shouldn't spend so much time on this. Okay.
I know. I'm sitting here and erasing my penciled letters to try and clear them up because I want them to be readable in this stage. But I've done it like 3 times now.
That's the part that people don't see. So when you're working on your comic, the revision process.
Another reason why I do like those new Frank Miller covers, because I know they're controversial, but I don't think he is thinking too much about revisions or anything. I think he's just like knocking them out, moving on. My local comic shop, the weather cleared enough for me to go there yesterday, and I have a whole bunch of these poster frames, like these Walmart poster frames that were left behind in my classroom. And I know they have those giant promotional posters, and I asked them if they had any to get rid of, and they gave me. I had looked through this giant box, and they got some good ones. They put up a lot of like Adam Kubert and some Alex Ross stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that because I think it'll resonate with the kids too. Some Hulk.
I thought you meant like blank frames, but actual art stuff.
Oh well, they're blank right now.
Oh.
But I got stuff from my LCS to.
I see. All right.
Drop in there. Because for like the right kids, they'll be like, "Whoa!" And I mean, and you know, everybody's got their own interests. I'm just leaning into being the comic book guy.
usually chattier. I'm just way too focused in, trying to be less dialed in.
It's all good.
Okay. No. Cancel. Oh no, did I have this on a layer that I'm not supposed to have it on? I think so. Because this keeps moving. I'm not trying to be moving this. Yeah, I'm probably gonna need to do a new tablet soon, or else this is gonna drive me crazy with this moving.
I got my school to buy me the Wacom 114 as a test pilot, which is like, it's like their value tablet.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought a 13 touch to test out, and those are pretty good. But I don't think, like, I want the kids to learn shortcut keys and stuff too. So I opted to like not recommend the touch because I want them to learn Control Z and Control Plus and all that stuff. But I was pretty psyched when they actually like picked up one of those for me to test out, and then hopefully I'll be able to get a lab with them. But they're pretty good. I mean, they're not.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, how do you like it?
I mean, the touch is flawed, like in the one that I got. Like, it's nice, but it's like not perfect. So I was okay with getting rid of it. But the textured finish on it is really nice to draw on. The resolution is kind of high, or not high, kind of low. So like you don't, like, even though it's a bigger screen, you don't get as much real estate.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you can still get like professional stuff done on it. Like if you're coming from a Cintiq down to that, you're probably going to notice some stuff. But as far as like an intro for the kids, I think it's really good. I've been able to kind of test out some of my projects on it, and I've been able to get real work done on it, and it feels good. You know?
Yeah, I love the Cintiq I'm using. It's very old. Like I think it's 9 years old. Since I bought it, and so it was already like kind of an old model when I bought it. So
Yeah, Ro, you have the same model that I used to have, and that one broke on me. But I picked up a Huion, and actually I really like it. It's been pretty nice.
Yeah, they're all so good.
I'm surprised this one has lasted as long as and it still works okay. Like I don't have any spots on here that like doesn't work or anything. So I really lucked out with this one, I think. But the issue is that the drivers are not really compatible anymore. Like no matter, even if I turn like the touch function off, it stays on. It's so fucking annoying. So
there was Wacom released a couple interesting things. Like their budget ones, I think, are pretty decent. But XP Pen, Huion, like they all have good value tablets. But they did I didn't want to shell out the money for it, but they did a Move Ink 14, I think. But the concept of that is that it's its own independent Android art tablet, but you can also, with a whole bunch of rigmarole, plug it into your computer and have it turn into a Wacom tablet too. So it has dual function.
Ooh.
Portable art tablet, and then also plug in. I think that's intriguing, but I don't know if it's there yet.
God damn it. Yeah. This is the part I don't like, everything kind of flipping around suddenly. That's why I don't stream art anymore, because people get dizzy when I do this. Like I used to be on Twitch, I mean.
The Vertigo podcast or the Vertigo stream.
Okay, I'm gonna actually have to draw a decent hand this time. Okay. So, Aaron, does the kiddo exactly understand what you do yet?
Like being an art teacher?
Yeah.
She knows that both her parents are teachers. I don't know that she totally gets it yet.
My oldest didn't understand what like a job was, because she'd always ask like, "Where's Dad?" And I was like, "Oh, he's at work," you know.
Yeah.
And then, she only spoke a different language at the time, and then so like, we were in an apartment complex, and then there were some people that were working on the roof, right?
Yeah.
And she asked me, she's like, "Mom, what are they doing on the roof?" And I didn't know the word for like roofing, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, "They're working," right? And
Right.
so she's like, "Oh, that's what work is," right? And then when my husband got home, she was like, "Oh, what roof were you on, Dad?" And I'm like, "Oh, I did not explain that right."
Well, it kind of makes sense. Like, you know, I think kids do try to like define things in definite ways so that the way they know it. And so if something has more variables in it, sometimes it's trickier for them. But like I think my daughter is even not. I can't think of any example like that, but I think she has confused certain things like that.
Whew. I'm trying to be better about like drawing out the hairline on the head before actually drawing the hair.
That's smart. I'm guilty of messing that up.
What? Okay.
I'm in the middle of the clay unit with my studio art kids right now. I feel like this always happens where it's the point of the year when we get to clay and there's just tons of snowstorms and stuff, so it's just like sitting in the classroom drying out.
Oh no.
But I mean, I give them Ziploc bags, so if they seal them up tight, we still might be good. And some kids are done, so their stuff might be ready to go into the kiln if we go in tomorrow. I imagine we'll probably go in tomorrow. But I feel like that always happens where there's environmental conditions that make the clay unit last longer or create problems.
Or do you like fire up the clay so that it's cured and they can keep it, or is it just like sculpting?
Oh, they keep it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
I was gonna say you could pick up some monster clay, and then but then you can't fire it; it just stays pliable.
it's called monster clay.
Yeah, and so what you do is you just like gently heat it up, and you can heat it up in the microwave or however you want, really. But then it becomes like pliable, and you can mold it. Here, I'll grab. I think I have. I did like a rough sculpt of a figure,
Whoa, that's cool.
and I used
Rough sculpt. That looks so cool.
and then I used an armature. So there's a wire armature in here, and then you use the monster clay, and you can just build on top of it. But this is like hard. Like this, I can't really move this very easily.
Yeah.
Until I like warm it up in my hands. But yeah, you get a big old tub of it, and you just throw it in the microwave for a few minutes and then pull it out, and you can sculpt with it. It's pretty neat. But this is like the stuff that they use on like movie sets or wherever to like sculpt prosthetics and then do casts.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that's what this stuff is.
There was a minute there where like that's what I wanted to do, but I was like, I'm not. I have never done any kinds of makeup ever. So, but I love the craft of that.
Yeah.
I am thinking we do have a crate of model magic. When you get to comics, I think I might talk about like Richard Corbin or Alex Ross a little bit, and maybe have them sculpt the head of their character.
Yeah.
So that way,
That's what this was for. I just never finished it.
Yeah, I keep meaning to do like a sculpture of Leslie the Robot, so that way I would like have like a model, either to put on my desk or figure out like a place to do some 3D printing, like simple things, just as a little figurine or something. But one of these days I'll get to it.
Whew. All right.
So, Aaron, where can you say where you teach? I know that with elementary school, I don't know if you want to share that or not.
Just in like central New York, like Syracuse area,
Cool.
a high school.
And it's high school art. That's awesome.
Yep, I was at middle school for the past 7 years, but the position there was a half-time position that was half middle school, half high school, and then it became full-time, and the person who was in it didn't want to do it. So I got in. And here I am. Yeah, it's a good fit. It's what I've always wanted to do. So it's nice to finally be here.
That's awesome.
Are you also in a school?
I'm a
Jade?
college professor.
Oh.
Yeah, and I teach in an art school at Montana State in Bozeman.
So do you have students that also don't like reference and stuff?
I don't know. I don't know if they don't like it. I definitely encourage them to do it, especially when they're wrong. It's like
That's funny.
bad. You should probably find a reference.
I say that constantly to my kids too. They're like, I don't know how to draw this thing. It's like, well, look at it. What's it look like?
Yeah.
The way that like it clicked in my brain was like realizing that the way our like from our eyes to our brain to our hand, right? We then like generalize things into symbols, and we just like make up symbols in our brain instead of drawing what's actually there, you know, like observation. And so like for artists starting out, like that's one of the first things that I like talk about is like, okay, if you draw me an eye, chances are you're going to draw me a symbol of an eye, not what it actually looks like with like a wet, muscly orb with like layers of skin over it and stuff. You know, like the way an eyeball actually looks and works and operates is a lot different than like the eye emoji that we tend to just draw. And like you can use those symbols to convey things like later. Like that's essentially 99% of what good cartooning is, right? Is like universal symbols. But to like learn to illustrate and draw, oftentimes you have to turn that part off and learn.
It's also
Turn it off.
learning how to do a combination of the two, right? It's just
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the best cartoonists are the ones that are able to simplify things, use those symbols, manipulate semiotics, but then also show something representational that's like surprising. That you're like, oh, I wouldn't have thought to. It's like whenever you see anybody like use a Valentine and it's like an anatomical drawing of a heart, you're like, oh, isn't that unexpected? Because it is, because that's not what you're expecting for that symbol. So no, I mean totally. Yeah, we do a lot of study because I run the first year program here, and so we do a lot of studying in semiotics and talking about sign, signifier, signified, and just the basic idea where symbols, icons, and synecdoches and all that kind of stuff come from.
Okay, Mr. College Man.
Hey, Victor. Hey, William. Hey, Dan.
It's like I spend a week at the beginning of the year talking about like color theory and stuff, and then like this has happened already, like because we're halfway through the year, and I start talking about color theory and be like, yeah, that's why you should color it like this and this because it'll help this and this stand out. And they're, I don't know if they're messing with me or if they really don't remember, but they're like, we never went over that. I'm like, are you kidding? I'm like standing in front of the color wheel, and I'm like, it didn't talk about how this is related to this and this and this, and basically just doing a quick recap of like everything. And they're like, no, we don't remember. It's like, oh man.
Man, I like to believe that like, you know, it's that they're messing with me, but I run into the same thing, and no, I swear to God, they just don't remember. They just like in one ear out the other.
Yes.
Well, we were doing a critique in my painting class today. This one student was talking about like, I don't know where my ideas for my color palette came from. His painting was literally yellow and purple. I was just like, could it be complementary?
I stole this slide. I
don't know where this is coming from.
I stole this slide from a cartoonist. I don't know who the artist is, which is kind of bad. I should attribute it. But it's of a yellow paint swatch talking to a purple paint swatch and saying, you look great. And the other one saying, OMG, you too.
I like that. That is really good.
So they're complementary colors. My main export as a teacher is cringy dad jokes. I just figure I'm never going to be cool. Well, maybe I'm cool to some of them, but that's not going to be the prevailing opinion. So I just go hard in the other direction, and that has worked well for me.
Yeah, I think sometimes just being overly cringe for students is a good way of like breaking down some walls sometimes. Yeah, because you're aware, like you're aware that you're being cringe, and the students are aware that you're being cringe.
Yeah. To let them know I'm self-aware, I feel like that is that's a good way to operate, especially for the ones that like they're not necessarily like bad kids, but they're like not art kids. They're just there to get their arts credit and move on.
Yeah.
And so when they arrive in class, I'll say, welcome back to your favorite class. Yeah, and we both know it's not their favorite class. But I usually get like a laugh out of them, so they can at least enjoy their time. I probably talked about this already on the show, but coming up from the middle school, one really nice thing is that I already know a giant proportion of the student population. So in a lot of ways, it's almost like a reunion, you know?
Oh, sure.
And so, because usually in a transition, like there's lots of change and there's lots of things you don't know, and it's just wild to like know more kids in the building than adults.
Oh,
You know?
Yeah, I get that.
Because I don't know if it's like this at the college level, but through no fault of anybody's, but we're much more siloed, I think, at the high school level. We're all kind of broken apart into our disciplines, and it's a bigger building. So, like, you can't just turn a corner and be like, oh, social studies teacher, how's your day going? Because, like, they're downstairs and on the opposite side of the building.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty similar to college, you know. Like, my school of art, we're pretty isolated on one part of the campus, and so, you know I have some other colleagues who are friends with like math professors and stuff like that. I'm like, how do you even meet these people? Like, I go to my building and then I go home. That's it.
I do try to be a wanderer a little bit, you know, for better or worse. But like when you teach in I used to, at the beginning of the year, I taught in a bunch of different rooms, and we kind of consolidated that, which is nice. But I like to move around during the free period, especially if I have to do a lot of grading or something. I just need to move around and to reset my brain. And so I'll do that, and I'll try to like meet other teachers in the building. And sometimes it works.
I mean, you know, like I know my colleagues decently well in my school of art, you know, like the printmaking professor or other graphic design professors and stuff like that. But in terms of across campus, yeah, no, I don't. Even when I wander, I'm like, I don't know who anybody is.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a greater distance for you because it's not even the same building.
No, that's true. That's true.
okay.
I probably picked like the worst page to do tonight because it's like there's so much perspective, and I do not feel like drawing any of it. So I'm doing all the other shit, and it's just like I'm running out of that stuff now.
That's kind of what I did with my edits. Was I mostly just picked the letters and changed the little objects that I needed to, but I didn't do any cleanup. Because it actually makes sense. Like, you know, I don't want to do a bunch of cleanup just for them to be like, hey, can we change this one panel or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point.
So if they want it more cleaned up, I can do that. But I figure we'll just start here.
Yeah, that's smart.
You almost don't want it too clean anymore because if you need to distinguish it from AI,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Well, luckily you now have a record of you literally drawing it on a stream.
Oh,
That's a good point.
thanks to the show.
There, in Bozeman here over the winter holidays, like Christmas and stuff, there's like this big event that happens in downtown Bozeman, and they commission a poster for it, and so people, apply and do their best version. And this one person won, and they announced it, showed it on their social media, and there was all this huge public outcry that like, this is AI, like this looks like AI, and the public were not happy about it, and everybody was asking, like, the artist said that that they had made it using Photoshop, and I was like, okay, release your files, like let's see the layers, and he would not release it for the longest ever. And it was like, well, that's suspect if you're not willing to
Right,
release
you could at least release it to the contest people.
Yeah, and then they could be like, oh, it's cleared. This is not AI, but they couldn't even say it, so they had to like essentially kick that person out of the kind of winning the contest, but instead of opening it up to the runners up, they just picked a freaking photo from a year previous of the event and used that as a poster. I was like, what a cop out.
I won a contest for like a shirt design, and people were mad because I did digital art. They were like, that's not real art, that's digital art. And I was like, I freaking drew it. What are you talking about?
Yeah, a lot of people ask me that too. Like, how do you do it digitally? Because they think that, I'm like, well, exactly how you would do it traditionally, except, not.
Yeah.
And they don't get it.
I allow my students in my painting class to either use like traditional or digital means. And so like I was reading we get course I don't know if this happens in high school, but we get course evaluations, and so students get to tell us how we did, and it's anonymous and friggin' annoying. But anyways, because I grade the students too, but they know who the grade is coming from, But this one student was like complaining this year that like they're like, I just don't think that digital art, that like they put in the same amount of work as I did. I don't know what to tell you, like it's the same.
Yeah, luckily we don't have course evaluations from students, although my graphics classes can be taken as college credit, and I think there was something about evaluations. I don't know if it's one I have to fill out or when they have to fill out, but I'll take a look at it tomorrow morning if I go back into work, if we have school tomorrow. But I did adjunct for a little while at the local, and the evaluations were, I feel your pain on the frustration with those, because it depends on like the student and like what they put into the class. Like if they didn't do any work and didn't turn in anything, they were like super negative. But if they were like, I taught digital illustration and comics, and the comics class, I thought was really good. Like one of the reviews was like, this is my favorite class ever, like learned so much, did a lot of cool stuff. And another one was like, should have reported him to the dean sooner. And it's like, but these were students that
report you for what?
exactly.
What?
I've got some. I only did it for 2 years, but I've got some wild stories about that. But these were students. I had them do 5 one-page papers. Come on. And they just had to answer 5 questions about a graphic novel that we read in class, like as a group. And they were just opinion questions, and then they just had to support their opinions. And I didn't even want them to cite. I was like, just tell me what about it is, because I'm not gonna look up the page. I've read the thing. Just tell me what you like or you don't like, and then tell me why. And these students who wrote the really scathing reviews were ones that literally ended after the third question with an M dash. And that was the end of the paper in the middle
Oh
of the,
no.
and I was
We're
like,
doomed, man. We're doomed.
but and like it was like weeks after the grade had gone in, and they were like, let me redo the paper. I'm like, this is already a 1-page paper. This is a slam dunk. Like I'm not reopening the grade book. Like, and I think that's why they got mad. But like, just do the minimum and get a good grade. Like, I wasn't trying to, make it the most challenging thing in the world. I agree.
Did someone actually end up reporting you to the dean?
Maybe, but nothing happened.
No, very rarely does anything ever happen of that. Like, I've had students who have like disputed grades or been like, well, I'm gonna talk to the director of the department or the dean or whatever. And it's just like, yeah, I mean, go forth. In general, when you're like an adjunct or just an instructor of record in general, it's just like your word is what happens in the classroom, and that's just the way it goes. And so most of like the administration stuff, and this is most of the time, not always, are there more or less just to back you up.
Right. Yeah, and like this is at the same school that I went to, so all the chairs and the head, all the professors. The reason I was there is because they knew who I was and they knew I was a good guy. So like, they're not going to listen to, somebody who was just taking like, or maybe they're in the program or whatever. And since they know me, if they make a bunch of claims that it's like clearly not something I would do, they'll be like, that sounds right.
Yeah.
So getting a complaint is pretty common, it sounds like.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, I think so.
I just love to complain.
Yes. But it was a good experience. I'm glad I did it.
It's almost like extended customer service, like.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. With I feel like sometimes jealous of teachers who teach in like K through 12 and stuff like that, because they don't have the same kind of transactory kind of relationship with students, whereas it's like, you're working in an art school where they're paying thousands of dollars to be here and get an education. It's just like you gotta be able to be on your game and supply that. Otherwise, you feel like you're kind of taking advantage of their money that they're paying. Some students are going into just like crazy debt to be there, and that part always stresses me out. And even to this day that I don't love. It's one of the things of higher education I'm not a big fan of is that process and what it does for the teaching environment.
Yeah, I get that. Sometimes because I ended up doing okay with the process and the college funding thing. And sometimes I wonder like how that happened, because I definitely did not strategize great. And then I see people who are like on the ball getting good grades and stuff, and they leave with like lots of debt. And it's like how did I fail upwards in this situation?
I never taught an art class, but I did teach for a few years in Asia. I mean, we did arts and craft, but it was like for preschool and stuff like that. So I don't know if that counts.
Yeah, I mean, it did 100% counts.
I mean, yes and no, but I don't think it. How do I say? I don't think it amounted to anything for what I'm doing right now.
Well,
it was a good time, though. I definitely appreciated those 3 years quite thoroughly. So.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate people who work with the younger grades. I mean, I have a young kid, but like I'm a secondary teacher. Like if they told me like your option is to go teach at elementary school or not have a job, I'd be like, okay, which room am I in? But
I might choose to not have a job. I don't know that I could do it. Oh my God, the amount of patience that people have for a huge group of kids that are preteen is just in. I mean, even high school. You know, like I get students when they're, you know, functionally adults, but like any younger, and I'm just like, I don't know that I could do this.
middle school was tough, I will tell you. And I still have like ninth grade is not that much different, but it's like 10% better in the worst cases, and even that is like an improvement. But I'm glad that I started at the middle school because like the classroom management and structures that I can put in place if I need to are probably way stronger.
That's a good point.
Because like the high school is a totally different beast, especially if you have kids that are advanced. Like we have to share rooms a lot, and programming starts off the day in my room, like computer programming, because I have the graphics lab, so they need the desktops. And the teacher who comes in and teaches it is very nice, but she's like so mellow, and I was like, there was not a day where I could teach like this and survive. You know, like, because like you gotta be on, you know, and like ready to rock and like enforcing your stuff and like showing up in places where kids are about to do something, but like you're right there so they don't do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or like I have all wireless stuff, so I'll teach with the wireless mouse, so that way I can just kind of like roam through the room as I'm talking about stuff. And that I found that to be pretty effective for getting people to like pay attention. You know, yeah.
Whew, all right. It's been a while since I worked on a panel.
That's great though.
I've been doing a lot of illustrations to get ready for an art show that I have next week. I'm really freaking out about it. I was at I went out to a bar with my friend, and then we happened to meet this guy that worked at Samsung, and he like said, "Hey, is this you?" And then he like literally the day before I put up the event for the art show, and he goes, "My coworker sent me this link." And I'm like, "Whoa, that's nice." And then of course on the way home I was like, "Oh god." So I totally got suckered into this art show, and I say that with love because I know the bar owner. But he was just like, "How come you haven't done an art show here yet?" And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Are you free on the 2nd?" And I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "Okay, what's your email?" I was like, "This is my email, but what?" And then he said, "I sent it to you." And that's literally how it happened. So I've never had one before. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty nervous. So
It's pretty chill. Like no one's gonna come in and be like, "This is bullshit." Like that, you know. Like, no
well, they might, because I live in
No.
Texas, and then one of my pieces is kind of about, you know, the stuff that's going on in the news recently. So,
Well, what kind of what's the vibe of the place that you're showing?
so the owner is like, he's actually like a politician in town, and he's pretty left leaning. So I'm not worried about him. I just don't want to like bring crap, you know. But I mean, my town is mostly blue voting. I don't know.
You know, I don't think anything crazy is gonna happen. I think it. You know, okay. First of all, the people who are against whatever you're saying are probably not going to show up to the event
I
in the
hope
first
not.
place. They
Yeah.
chances are they don't care about an art show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not me.
Yeah.
Second of all, if somebody
None of
does
them
get
frequent the
dragged in
bar
there,
though. So, but
Yeah.
I'm glad you're telling me this because I need to think of it more that way and just do it.
yeah, they're just gonna take it. Like if they somehow get dragged to the show and they're unhappy about it, they're just gonna like take an extra shot of tequila and then like go outside to have a cigarette and be mad or whatever, like
Or like trash the restaurant online, because that's the only place
Yeah.
that those kind of people have power, right? Is just like in a virtual space where they can feel big and tough.
yeah, because it's gonna be a crowd, and they don't want to be the one person throwing a fit in a crowd.
Well, maybe they do. Maybe they do.
Well, yeah, actually, never mind. I think that
Preparing myself. I'm bracing myself.
it's okay. So I'm doing this piece that I'm coloring right now is for a gallery show in May, but it's essentially a piece that's making fun of like tourists repeatedly asking the same questions.
Oh.
And guess who's going to be seeing this? Is a bunch of freaking tourists.
Just dunking on actual tourists.
Yeah.
I feel like though, that would be fun for tourists. At least for me anyway, if I was a tourist, I'd be like, yeah, we're like that.
Yeah.
I'm
that's
not right here.
the goal is that it's a little bit of like dry humor, but you never know, man. It's pretty funny.
With some Don Rickles as artwork. He's making fun of the audience. Yeah, they like that. Like one of the best jokes I got off this year, and stop me if I told this one already, but one of my students was like playing a game on his Chromebook instead of like because I let him use the Chromebooks because they can use it as reference. There's all kinds of things they can look at and see. They can help them do the project. And I was like, if you don't get off, earlier in the class, like somebody had said 6-7. It's kind of dead now, but I'm not letting it die. But I was like, close that game, otherwise your grade will be a 6-7. And that's where because this kid was like kind of on edge. Like he still doesn't really work a lot, but I can tell he doesn't hate me, which is really sometimes that's all you can hope for. And I think that's when I got him.
You got him, boys.
That's right, reel him in.
Oh shoot, forgot the bracelet. Oh well. Let's do it again.
I had my students do digital collage. My graphic students do a digital collage with this bank of royalty-free images that I bought, and some of them put together like these really nice collages of like these canyons and like, outer space. But they found some really nice decorative 6s and 7s to put like right in the center of the piece, and I was like, you know what? This is going in the art show at the end of the year.
That's funny.
Because I'm the only one who would do that, and who's going to stop me?
When I was in high school and taking art, our art teacher was retiring the next year.
Yeah.
So she didn't give like 2 rips and was literally just about doing stuff that would make the administration mad.
Oh.
So like we literally did like guerrilla art movements in her class. It was kind of sick. We did a bunch of pieces and then went out and like tied them together with string and then like threw them into the trees at our school. We like took over the staircase and just did like a pop-up art show. She was letting people hang up like life drawing stuff. And the administration was definitely not happy, but like, what are they gonna do? You know?
Right. Oh, that's the dream.
Yeah. She got up onto the table during like Halloween time and started singing, like literally screaming Time Warp on top of the table. And out in the hallway and did the same thing, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Sometimes it's time to do the time warp again. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, it's just a hop to the. Is it a hop to the right?
You might be right.
it's. I don't think so.
Shit, is it? It's a hop to the right.
And then a
Damn it,
skip
Ab.
to the right. So
Put
no,
your hands on your hips.
it's a jump to the left and then a skip
That's
to the
it.
right.
That's it. It's a jump to your left. A skip to your right.
Oh man, the stretch. I always forget to stretch.
That's a good point.
And if I don't, I'll suffer the next day.
And drink water. Take a sip of water.
Yeah, I probably should step away and get some water in a moment.
They're solid strategies.
We're at the 6 o'clock mark as well, or past it, I think. Which is great. Didn't realize I was working on this panel for like that long.
I know sometimes you're like, I'm gonna get this page fully penciled out in 2 hours. And then you're like, oh, one panel. Got it. Changing my goals here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm to the point where I'm just like inking my panel borders. It's like, that's easy enough.
I've been there for sure. I'll be working on something and then I'm like, I'm just gonna do all of the letters and panel borders. Like something that requires no thought.
All right, I got the waters.
Heck yeah.
Bag secured.
Oh, as far as music, maybe the thing that I did that amused me the most so far this year with music is I played the Parliament Funkadelic song Atomic Dog, or maybe it's George Clinton, so I can't remember. But I played it on loop for an entire class period.
Crazy.
It brought me great joy. I don't know if I needed
Do you ever let the kids choose the music?
I'm bad. I'm the DJ.
Valid.
I say when you go to school for 6 years, you can be the DJ.
I've been in some classrooms where kids get to pick the music and I feel like it never goes well. And sometimes I'm part of the problem.
You know, sometimes I'll listen to requests, and I have been known to take some requests, but I'm not just going to put on like something I haven't vetted.
Yeah, I mean it's a little trickier when you teach in high school for sure.
Yeah.
I kind of like, you know, I play music, but most of the time I ask the students, "What do you want to listen to?" And then they're just like, "Whatever." And I'm like, "Great answer." And then I kind of like run the DJ responsibilities.
I had one day in the fall where I put on The Cure, and like I had a whole bunch of kids be like, "Oh, I love The Cure," and I was like, "I like you guys."
I've been told The Cure is dad music now.
Okay,
Yeah,
I can't fight what
but
I am.
you're not wrong.
When I was working at a pizza shop in high school, I was like, you know, I had to show up with like, you know, my freaking pizza company shirt on, but I was wearing like creepers and like plaid pants and shit. And talking to the cooks, I mentioned The Cure, and they were like, "You know The Cure?" And they started like freaking out. They're like, "You love The Cure?" And they like asked me about my shoes. I'm like, "Yeah, they're creepers." They're like, "Man, I used to have a pair of those." And they freaking loved me, and they'd make me food, and it was lit. And they did not like any of the other teenagers that were
Oh no.
Yeah.
I was like, hell yeah.
You ruined it for all of them.
Sometimes you have to.
And then I became assistant manager at the shop.
All thanks to The Cure.
Yeah, man.
I like to make managerial decisions based on musical taste.
Totally.
If only everything were that easy.
Right?
Yeah, your Indeed resume is instead your like most played on Spotify.
I don't know if that would bode well for me. Like one of the, are you guys familiar with the band Skinny Puppy at all?
Yeah.
I've had a couple of years where my end of year list is like them as my number one playlist, my number one artist. People would probably be like, what is going on with this guy? He seems so nice. His music is so
Yeah, I got rid of my Spotify, so
Yeah,
I don't get a most played anymore. I just have my music collection, and that's what it is.
that's smart.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is going to be the year that I burn that bridge and get off of Spotify as well. I'm getting kind of
Do it, Jade.
sick of it.
I'll send you a jump drive with all my music files on it.
I have
And now, like freaking, they updated Apple Music, and it's the same bullshit too now. You don't actually own anything.
No, you don't. And my issue, like, was mostly that, like, for the monthly subscription price, I could just be buying a CD every month or whatever, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
that's true.
It's not cheaper than just going out and buying new music almost. You know, if you're doing like vinyl records, yeah, fair enough. It's maybe not as cost effective, but still.
And then that forces you to spend time with that album too.
I mean, that's the nice part. Like, I remember back in the day, all the random music facts and shit I know. It's because I read the liner notes, man. I literally would just sit in my room and listen to records and look at the record, like the arts, and read all the notes and read who produced and who played what on this track and who played this on that track. And that's how I developed my taste and my knowledge of music. And I mean, I don't do that anymore.
And it's also like how you learned lyrics to like any kind of new song that I listened to through streaming, didn't know the lyrics, you know. But every song that I listened to on CD in the car on the way to school every morning when I was young, like I knew all the lyrics to.
Totally.
And definitely like there's drawbacks to like not having streaming services. But it's, you know, it is what it is. And like you definitely will like buy some stuff that you're like, this is hot garbage, you know. Or you
But even still, man, like I've had those hot garbage records, and I will die on the hill of no, this is a good record.
Yeah,
because
true.
I listened to it 80 billion times.
Yeah.
Because I bought it, and so you have to live with the shitty choices, you know.
Back then, when albums were like a lot of songs in one, now there's like 6 or 7.
Oh, you can
See what you did there.
Playtime has really gone down as well. Yeah.
you can still get like sampler CDs too, actually. Like I've found a few that are just samples of like you know, however many bands. Like one song each for free or very little money.
Well, I mean, there was a period of time where bands were not writing for vinyl; they were not writing for LPs, and so their albums could be 15, 20 songs long because it was just going to come out on CD and it could hold all that. Whereas like a vinyl, that would have to be a double, LP, and that's crazy expensive. And then LPs came back in fashion, and now everybody's writing for LPs again, and that's 45 minutes tops.
So you're saying records have killed the music industry?
No, son of a bitch. No, records are changing for people who got into music during the kind of lull of records where they were not being produced as much. The resurgence of records have kind of like been weird for how we consume music, and it's just like if you were raised in the CD era, it's like it's easy just to remember 15, 20 songs is the norm, and now 6, 8 is the norm, and that's because that's what will fit on an LP, and it's not ruining it. It's just like, well, now we have to recalibrate.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like I saw an ad for an independent horror movie on Instagram, and they were selling the movie in 3 ways. Right? They had a VHS that was pretty expensive because I'm sure to get an indie film produced on a VHS is a fucking nightmare. And then they had it on DVD. And then they had it on a USB drive. And I've always thought it was so like such an interesting idea to like sell a digital comic book on like a USB drive or like a USB-C drive or something, so that there was still some sort of like physical product that you could just send in the mail or whatever, and then that's how they had to have their digital comic instead of like a Google Drive link or whatever the hell. I still think it could be interesting. I've seen people do like business. They're kind of like credit cards or business cards, but there's like a flippy portion that has like a USB-C drive output in it, and I'm like making like a mini comic that has like
I've seen people do where it's like essentially a cassette case, but instead of a cassette in the case, it's just a USB drive. But then it's like a USB drive that's attached to like this kind of like little art object. That's like their longer form record or whatever. And I think that stuff is cool. I'm like, any chance that someone can do something that's something that we recognize like a format or a novel or an album, but put it in a different format that thinks about accessibility, I'm all for, and I think that stuff is cool.
I really just want an excuse to make a J case, man, a J case design.
That'd be fun.
I have no reason to, but I would love to.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know, because the knobs in like a plastic J case cause problems. But I was gonna say like you could make a little zine to fit in one.
Yeah, I think so.
And then design like a cool jacket on there. Wheels are spinning.
I also like when comics are in unusual spots, too. Very much like playing with how you can print or I had a student last year who screen printed their comics on a quilt, and I was like, this is so awesome. Like I love this idea so much. And I'm just like, man, how can you push that?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a sucker for formalist experiments and weirdo shit, man.
Oh, did I still not do it? I still didn't do it. Okay.
I just checked my phone and I saw that Mark texted us.
I saw that. Yeah, I didn't look too closely yet, but I
And
knew
then
that would happen.
I had to. I knew. Yeah, I knew as soon as Mark did something that someone was going to jump on there. I read it too, and Mark could have just ignored or deleted them, but his responses are really funny. When you get a chance, you should read his responses.
Do we get like a
He's
troll
a troll.
or something?
Yeah, there's a troll in the chat, and Mark of Western and is just calling him right back. It's great.
Oh my god, yeah, the comments are pretty great.
Isn't that nuts? Like, I just find it crazy that you even follow lesser known comics and that's your ideology that you're working with,
Yeah. That, wait. Hold on. No, man, I think that they follow me or are related to me somehow, which is
Oh,
devastating.
no way.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, because my old art teacher follows them.
Oh man, I wonder.
So I don't know. But yeah, that shit might have come from me, which is also crazy, like, oh brother. That's funny.
Oh man, I just appreciate that Mark's handling that. I feel like you could do it as a business and just ignore, but at the same time, that's kind of against the point of what we're trying to say. You can't kind of
And
ignore it.
also Mark was very respectful.
Yeah,
and
he's not being a dick by any means.
no, he's being in fact very nice to them.
Yes.
and proving that whoever this person is literally just a guy, and like, oh my
Just a guy.
it's so funny. It's like it's crazy because you see people post the most like heinous stuff, right? And then like their next post is like, went to Pizza Hut the other day. It was pretty good. Might become a Pizza Hut guy. Like what? Like it's like normal.
That's
That's
hilarious.
hilarious.
I mean, you're totally right. You're totally right.
It's so fun. Okay, the colors on my camera are kind of messed up. It makes it look like this like weird green color, but in reality, this is like a nice like golden yellow, right?
Yeah, it's very much like an off green.
Yeah, no, it's like a golden yellow, but it's funny because I did it because it's like it's a summer piece. So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
we'll do like a bright yellow, the sun, whatever, right? But I also realized that like a lot of these have to do with like where's the bathroom. And
It does.
you're reading
it
the wrong
does have a
way.
tea bag. Yeah.
I might be reading the wrong but also right way.
Also, there's some bullshit. You made me the cameo of the first person, man.
Right here.
Look at that.
Here's Matt.
That's some nonsense.
It does look like you, Jade. That's so funny.
Can I tell you guys, I have this ongoing joke that's going to be like a real zine at some point with some friends of mine. And the title of this thing is Piss Jug Quarterly.
Hell yeah. I have a running joke with my friends that we asked people if they've heard of piss roulette,
Oh, jeez.
which isn't a real thing. It's just some random shit that we made up, and we are trying to convince people that it's like a real game that people play.
But since we're on the topic, I actually have the sketchbook that my buddy gifted me. So like we hang out and we'll do some drawings, and I think eventually just be like a random collection. But one of my friends has like a vision for it that it'll be like an underground comics thing, potentially. But there has never,
So good.
there's never been a Yellow Hulk before, as far as I know.
Yes, dude.
Piss Hulk?
Get the Marvel editors on the phone. It's time for Yellow Hulk, aka Piss Hulk.
It's time for Piss Hulk.
That's right.
You won't like you won't like me when I have to pee.
This is this is crazy. The 1 week Brandon isn't here, and I just direct the chat into piss talk. God.
Well, I was ready for it.
And Aaron was prepared.
I've got a whole book of this stuff.
Yeah. Visual aids. Piss Hulk was on.
I need to
deck.
change the episode of this to
Yes,
Dan, if this is you, don't watch this.
Well, I got to tell you, the way this guy gets around, he doesn't jump. You guys are familiar with how Godzilla can fly, right?
By his, like,
Vaguely.
tail? Or he does like the big.
He uses his breath to get around.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Oh God.
So this Hulk urinates to put himself into
Yeah,
the.
I got it.
Oh,
That's
this is probably the best thing we worked on. This is a collaboration between my friends and I, but this came out great.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Some nightmare fuel.
Yeah, I think that's what I want it to be. It's just nightmare fuel.
Yeah, it should just be cursed images.
Yeah. But anyway, I didn't know I was going to be so ready for that.
That's so funny. Well, we're coming up to the end here. Does anybody want to do their plug? So we're not scrambling.
Yeah, I'll get mine. I have probably the lesser plugs currently. Jade Lowder at Jade Lowder Instagram. I also have a Patreon. I'm trying to ramp up more as I'm starting to roll out more pages from my new series, Not Enough Blood. Issue 1, The Judge, is what I've been working on tonight. That book, I'll start releasing pages very soon. So jumping on my Patreon is a good way to follow the comics I'm making and all that kind of good stuff. And that's just patreon.com/JLouder. I also want to just quickly shout out a couple of Apollo projects that are going on right now. So the first being Outer Spaced is on Kickstarter, and that's from our good friends Eric Allred and Ben Collins. They're doing really good, but they definitely need some more support. So if anybody's watching and interested, go check out Outer Spaced 1 through 3 on Kickstarter right now. And then also want to shout out for Lesser Known Comics, and that we're taking submissions, open submissions for a zine, the Lesser Known zine. And so if you have, I think it's like a 4 to 8 page story, right, Max?
Yeah, something like that. But it could also be previews for a book that you have out, or a book that's coming out, or whatever.
Yeah.
It can be previews
Exactly.
for a story that you have.
And you can
Or
just
it can
find
be-
that link to submit on the Lesser Known Comics website, which is just lesserknowncomics.com. And then get involved. You find that tab, and then you can apply to be in that zine. And it's a rolling submission. So whenever we get enough submissions that will fit in a book thematically, that's when we're going to print a zine. So constantly apply, check in, follow, all that kind of good stuff.
And
I think that's the bigs for me.
Yeah, and I believe contributors get comp copies when their stuff
We do.
gets
Yep. You'll get comp copies, which is great.
Yeah. Sweet. Yeah, sweet. Jade did all the plugs for me, man.
Nice.
Hey.
Nice. I mean, I've got Wesley the Robot. I did a combination of the Halloween special and First Snow. So this is your like fall into winter special.
have these up there. I also have a bunch of my comics to read for free up on Global Comics. So if you just look for Wesley the Robot Global Comics, you can read them all. Well, almost all of them there, except for the Halloween special, because that's the newest one. But I've got my pizza comic, Pizza's Pizza, and the Pizza Man. I've got the Wesley the Robot, The Dark Ages, which is the origin story. And this one's available out there for $10. That's a nice print.
Where can people find it?
This thing, I have an Etsy. It's the Pens and Pedals Etsy. Also, the Oswego Comic Shop, which is my local comic shop, carries it too. So if you're interested in that, it's out there. But you can read a lot of my stuff for free, and so many good pinups.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could go on and on. But yeah. Pens and Pedals.
Dope. Bro, if you're there, plug your stuff.
I'm here. That if you've been watching what I've been working on, this is the next installment of my original comic called Half of the Crown. You can read it online. I think it's on Global Comics and Webtoon. And then if you want the print version for it, you could buy it at cosmiclionproductions.com. And yeah, stay tuned for more different manga from other creators from Cosmic Lion. And you can find me on Instagram at Ro Higashi. So it's going to be RO period and then Higashi, Higashi.
Very dope. Yeah, go follow everybody. And yeah, that's super cool news about Cosmic Lion manga. That'll be really cool. I'm excited to see where that goes.
Thanks,
Gag is done. So that means that first grabs are going to be in the January Mail Club through murderofmagpies.org. And yeah, and then a full release for that is going to be in February. So you can sign up to the email newsletter to get notified about that. And you get a welcome discount. And you get a free digital copy of Bubbles to go ahead and read. And yeah, there's all sorts of cool stuff on there. There's Milo's been doing a bunch of new stuff. That's Milo's hand. He did this new print that's going to be for some patches. I don't know if I have the other patches around, but yeah, he's been doing some cool new block prints and some like thrifted fashion stuff. So it'll be cool. And yeah, thank you everybody for watching. And I don't know if CWS has any plugs right now. I think today might be the last day of their 10% off sale. Maybe. I don't know. If by the off chance you need books right this minute, go check. Or message Brandon and bug him while he's sick. Sweet. Thank y'all for coming and hanging out. And we'll catch you next week. Later.